We manage close to $3 million per month in ad spend. And right now, there are some things that we see working very well when it comes to scaling campaigns for e-commerce brands. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact setup that's working right now, and I'm gonna build out a campaign step by step. First, it's important to note that when you're looking to scale, it is only worth doing with proven assets because you're going to be spending a lot more money on this type of a campaign than other campaigns. And ads are simply an amplifier. If you have good stuff, it'll amplify good stuff. If you have bad stuff, it's going to amplify bad stuff. So if you don't have proven ads, or you're like, how do I know if they're proven, Josh? Then you can learn how to do that. We have other videos like on the best performing creatives that we see right now, as well as our pretty unique lo-fi ad testing framework. So we'll have links in the description if you want to go watch those videos after this to understand how you can prove and validate ads. Now, luckily, we have already validated this particular campaign that I'm going to be launching here. And so as you can see here, we've already launched this campaign. In the last 2 weeks of running this, we spent about $900. We're at a $15 cost per purchase. Our target is $20, and our return on ad spend here is a 3.65, and we are happy with anything over a 2.5. And so we've already proven and validated this, and now it's time to take these ads and go and scale these ads for this product. And so the first thing we're going to do is make sure you have things organized somewhere. Whether you're using like our ad planner here, which we'll just have a link in the description as well for this, whether you're using our ad planner or you have some other way of organizing, please organize stuff. It makes your life a lot easier as a paid media buyer. Highly recommend that you do something like this. So as you can see here, we have 3 ads. These are for a single product that we have called the Sam Eagle t-shirt. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch our recommended scale campaign that we just see doing really, really well right now with all of these pieces of copy as well as the different creatives that we have for this. And so since we just wrapped up a validation, we're actually going to move these to what we call production campaigns. So when we scale, we like to call them production campaigns because they're the things that will just produce, and they're just workhorses that are going to carry your business. They're going to be super stable, and they're going to be super optimized. To get started, we're going to head over to the Ads Manager, and we are going to create a new sales campaign. And so we're using Meta's Advantage Plus sales campaign structure here. Now, from a campaign standpoint, we recommend 1 campaign per product or offer. So in the example that I have today, we're going to be using one of our teas that has just been crushing it and that we have already validated. Remember, it's important to validate and make sure your stuff is proven. And we call this the Sam Eagle t-shirt. And so we're going to have 1 campaign for Sam Eagle. This is going to be our production campaign, and we're going to set the budget on the campaign level. So I'm going to go ahead and name this here. Now we consider the production campaign as phase 3. We're going to scroll on down. I'm going to turn off Advantage Plus catalog ads because we are having control. We have 3 ads that we're going to plug in here, but we need the control. Then we're going to come down to the budget. Now you can budget on an ad set level or a campaign level budget, but when we're scaling, we're going to give Meta control with a campaign level budget. And not to get super nerdy, but if you're watching this and you're thinking, Josh, hey, all of the spend is probably going to go to maybe 1 ad set and it's going to take up everything, you can implement ad set limits, which I'm not going to cover in this budget. It's a little bit more advanced, but you can set ad set spending limits if you want to have a little bit more control over how much spend is being done in each ad set. And so for simplicity's sake, we're going to leave on campaign budget here. We're going to scroll down. Now, from a budgeting standpoint, we are going to spend at least 10 times our target cost per acquisition. And now eventually it's going to be 20, 40, 50, 100 times your target CPA as you scale, but to start, it needs to be at least 10 times. And so our target here is $20 cost per acquisition. And so I should be running at least 10 times that, or $200 per day. If you can't do that, then I really recommend you hop and watch the lo-fi test campaigns I mentioned earlier, because you can run budgets as little as $25 a day for those campaigns. And the reason, by the way, we're setting a 10x target CPA budget here is because Meta wants you to have 50 conversions in a 7-day window in order to fully optimize. And if I set it to 10 times my target per day, then if I'm hitting my numbers, I'm going to be getting at least 70 conversions a week, which is 20 over the recommended 50. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to set the budget here to 200, which is going to be 10 times my target CPA. We're going to leave the campaign bid strategy on highest volume or value, and then we're going to leave audience segment reporting. There's nothing I need to do here. If you're curious, by the way, on what are audience segments, how do I build them, which ones should I have, then we have a video as well. We got a lot of videos. There's going to be a video in the description that walks through exactly how to set these up, as well as what exact audience segments we recommend and why. Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and continue down to the ad set level. Now on the ad set level, we like to keep one ad set for each set of ads that we're cycling in. So for example, I only validated a set of 3 ads. And so I'm going to create one ad set with those 3 ads inside of it. But over time, as you test more ads and more angles, you might find that you have multiple ad sets in here. So we might have ad set number 1 here as 3 to 5 ads that focus on pain points. And maybe there's another ad set in here that has 3 to 5 ads that focus on call out graphics for all of the features of the product. And maybe you have a third ad set that might be several user generated videos and so on. Now we only have one set of ads here, and these were all really statement graphics. So we call them statement graphics because, as you can see here, we have a little creative with the t-shirt, and then it has a little statement next to it. And they were just different statements that are super inside jokes for people that understand what this product actually is. And so we're going to go ahead and just name this ad set statement graphics, because that's really how we have decided to theme the ads within this ad set. Now under conversion location, you could choose website and shop or just website, and not to get into the weeds of that as well, but if you don't know which one you should run to, we also have a video on should you run to website or should you run to shop. We'll include that in the description as well. And if you want to run and calculate how profitable the shop actually is, I'm going to show you how to do that in that video because most people don't realize how costly it actually is and how unprofitable it actually is. So go check that out, but we are going to be running to the website. I would say that 8 to 9 out of 10 brands that we work with, and we work with more than 400 clients right now, the shop is pretty expensive, and so website is usually the best option. So if you don't know, I would just do website and then go watch that video, and then later maybe you can test website and shop. We're going to leave performance goal on maximize number of conversions. We're going to select our data set, and we're going to go to purchase because that is what we are optimizing for. As far as attribution settings, we're going to go ahead and leave these on the default of 7-day click, 1-day engaged view, and 1-day view. We're not going to set any cost per result. That's going to throttle you. Some people do that, but it will throttle your spend, and we don't want that to happen, and we want it to really optimize. We're going to go ahead and select the start date of the next day. We always do 12 a.m. the next day. The reason we do that is because we want a full 24 hours of spend on this budget. If you started this at 6 p.m. in the evening and you launched this, it might take 3 hours for it to get approved, and then between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m., it's going to accelerate your entire budget spend in a 3-hour window of time, which is usually pretty inefficient and costly. We're not going to set an end date. And then as far as audience goes, we're going to leave this wide open. We've done plenty of tests as far as like interest targeting and lookalikes, and what we found is just broad is the best, and we're going to run it broad with no exclusions. So we don't want to exclude our existing customers, and we don't want to exclude our warm and hot audiences that have engaged with us because we want them to give us proof. You know, if a customer just bought from you, as long as you have good products, and they see your ad, many of them will like it. Many of them will comment, and it starts giving this proof to our ads that allows us to scale even more. And another benefit too is if you start to get trolls in your comments, you're going to find that your customers begin defending you and being your voice, and you don't actually have to say anything. Plus, we really want to retarget people who have engaged but they haven't yet purchased, and if we just leave this wide open, Meta is going to retarget those people on its own. From a placement standpoint, we're just going to leave Advantage Plus on and not touch anything. So that covers us on the ad set level. Now let's go down to the ad level. Now in the ad level, this is where we're going to use our planner, and we have 3 unique ads that we're going to be launching here. And so these are going to be single ads. We are not going to be running what are called flex ads. So if I'm in here, I'm just going to say statement graphic 1, and then I'm going to leave it on create ad, manual upload. We're not going to be running flexible ads. Now, if you see that flexible ads work for you, you could run a flexible ad that has all of these variations in it, and then in that case, you would only have one ad inside of this because you have all of the variations of the ad inside the single flex ad with multiple creatives and copy. Now, the reason I'm not going to do that is because we just ran a test, actually 2 weeks ago on this, on flex ads versus single image ads. Actually, we did it on these exact ads. We tested flex versus single image, and the flex ads had a 2.67 return on ad spend, whereas the single ads had over a 4 return on ad spend. And so for this brand, single ads just work, so we're not gonna use flex, we're gonna go single image. We're gonna leave multi-advertiser ads on, and then we need to select the destination. So I'm gonna go into our planner here, I'm gonna grab the destination of this product. It's going straight to the product display page. Another note, we have tested home versus collection versus product page. Product page wins almost every single time. And so I highly recommend that you run to the product page versus a collection because people get lost and there's a lot of other reasons. We're gonna make sure there are no browser add-ons on here, and then we're going to set up our ad. So I'm gonna click Setup Ad, and these are all image ads. And so this is where it's gonna take us through this process of creating the ad in here. And there are going to be some settings in here that you might have things that default. So for example, we have site links here, and it's automatically pulling in the Tiki Room, Sunny Eclipse, Defunct and Abandoned, Trash Can Culture, and Carousel of Progress. And so it's going to default some for you. It may not default anything. If it doesn't default anything, I'm not going to worry about this right now. But if it does default, I'm okay with just leaving those defaults in there. We also have our catalog items right here. I'm going to click edit the sources on here. I want to make sure that we're running to all products in here. We like to have all product catalog items showing. So I'm going to select all products from my catalog so it'll cycle different things that it believes existing people might be interested in purchasing. Then I'm going to press next. Now here's where I enter my copy. So I'm going to come to my primary text. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it there. I'm going to come back to my planner. I'm going to grab my headline. Come back in here, and I'm going to paste my headline. Now, we're not going to select these additional options. Sometimes it will default this. We do not do that. We leave that off. We have no description. As you can see, we have no description here. We generally don't see descriptions do a whole lot, so we leave them blank. Then call to action, we are going to use Shop Now. Shop Now creates a lot more intent, so I highly recommend if you're trying to sell products, use Shop Now. Then we're going to press next. On the ad level, we're going to go ahead and upload all of the ads for the different placement sizings. Now, this is very important because we want square and we want horizontal and we also want vertical, because by doing that, it's going to allow us to remove any restrictions that we're putting on delivery for Meta, and Meta really likes that. So I'm going to press upload here, and then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. I have all of these right here. I'm going to upload, which give me the vertical and the horizontal versions, and then I'm going to upload my square versions that I also have right in here. All 3 of these, we're going to upload those. And then I'm going to begin just by selecting the square one. So I'm going to select this one right here and press next. Now this is where we want to then upload the individual placements. So I want a 9:16, but if I don't upload the proper one, it's going to cut it off, just like this version right here is going to cut this off as well. So I'm going to press replace. 3 hour, perfect. So that's now going to match this, and then I need to replace this one. Wonderful. And now, there we go. Now we have all 3 placements for the proper sizes. I'm going to press next. We're going to skip AI generation. We're going to turn on all optimizations to give Facebook plenty of flexibility, and then we're going to click done. So if I scroll down through here, we now have this ad pretty much ready to go, but I am going to just double check everything, make sure it's all good. We have Shop Now, optimized text, everything is enabled. Wonderful. Now, Meta likes to default to any promos, and it will automatically check mark the promo codes in the email sign up offer. We're not running any promos, so we're actually going to deselect these. And then for one final little thing, we are going to grab our UTM parameters, and we're going to paste those right here. Now, I'm not going to cover UTM parameters in this video, but I am going to put these in here to give us a little bit more data on where people are coming from. Great, so now I have this first ad created, and it just gets easier from here. I can come in here, and I'm actually going to just duplicate this times 2, so I could create the other 2 ads. So we're going to duplicate to the existing ad set. We're going to have 2 copies in here, and we're going to press duplicate. And then I'm going to proceed to just do this exact same process for each of the other 2 ads. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll come right back. All right, there we are. So we've gone ahead and created all 3 of these different unique ads based on the statement graphics that we're running, and we're pretty much to the point now where we can press review and publish. So I'm gonna click the X out of here, and then I'm gonna press review and publish, make sure the campaign looks good, make sure the ad set looks good, and make sure our ads look good, and then I will press publish. Well, that's the campaign that we used. It's scaling, it has great degrees of stability, and so we highly recommend this if you're running an e-commerce business and you're trying to figure out how you can get more momentum in your ads with stability and more predictability and not having to worry about living in these volatile ebbs and flows. Now, if you want to dive deeper into testing strategies just like this, or creative ideas, or how we run meta ads, then I highly recommend you go to ecommercealley.com, where we have plenty of additional resources, along with a podcast that has several hundred episodes where we go really, really deep on building and scaling e-commerce brands. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe and press the like button so you don't miss any of the latest strategies that we're testing.